So Dan, this is super cool for me to get a chance to chat with you. We're here in Rochester, Michigan. This is, in some ways, kind of a homecoming for you.
Absolutely. I'm from Clawson, Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's such a joy to get to come here and show the film, where I grew up, and for such a great cause, the Assistant League of Southeastern Michigan, my mom's charity that she spent years volunteering time.
That's awesome.
So it's really fun, and it's fun to show it to, as you can imagine, there's friends and family here too.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So it'll be a great experience for people to see it.
I know it's a short stop because you're just you're all over the place, promoting ONWARD right now. But when you do come back to Michigan, when you come back home, do you have favorite stuff that you do? Is there a favorite spot, favorite restaurants?
Yep, I always stay in Clawson, even though my family doesn't live there anymore.
Okay.
And my brother, very sweetly, who lives in East Lansing, drives 2 hours to stay at an Airbnb with me, and we hang out with my mom, and we go to Ticonderoga and the Big Boy, and then my brother and I and my cousins go to the Hideout and the Clawson Steakhouse and all those places, and there's so many. And I got to go to Warp 9 Comics to get my comic books.
It's a great plug.
All sorts of great places. Clawson was wonderful when I was here, but it's growing and really becoming a super tight-knit community. They have so many fun things now. They show movies on the street, and so it always feels like home to me. I always feel so relaxed and happy to be here.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the movie. This is your second feature film directing with Pixar. Is there an added, Pixar, just the brand itself kind of exudes quality. Like, this is better than other animated films, is kind of like how they've positioned themselves already. Do you feel the added, pressure, oh my God, this is a Pixar movie, this has to be, even more so, more stress on yourself than maybe normal?
I mean, luckily, we have so much support from Pixar, and we work on each other's films. We give each other notes that you do feel. I don't feel that pressure as much as maybe I should, but I while we're making the film, I should say, we're just focusing on the story, focusing on how to make it its best. I think it's ingrained in everyone at Pixar to try to do your best and top each other and make the film as good as it can be. Maybe when the film is starting to come out, I certainly feel that pressure from the outside world, but not from the inside.
Why don't you tell people a little bit about this movie? Where was the genesis of it? How did it come to be? And I know that reading your bio a little bit, that the themes in the movie, I feel, are very personal to you.
Yeah, my father passed away when I was a year old, and my brother was only 3. So as you can imagine, we don't remember him at all. Always wondered who he was and how we were like him. And that question was the beginning of ONWARD, how are we like him? And that led to this sort of wish fulfillment thought of, what if we could spend one day with him? What would we say? What would we learn? And that really was the beginning of it, of the film.
Okay. And again, we're not giving anything away here, but some of the themes in the film, dealing with family and what's important, and kind of almost appreciating those that you do have, and instead of dwelling on who's not here. But there's also a theme in the movie. It starts off right off the bat where it's pretty clear that technology has really sucked the magic out of this world as technology has kind of advanced. Why was it important to kind of lay that as the groundwork for this story?
We wanted to create a world where this father character could be brought back for the day, and the idea of magic felt the most sort of romanticized version of that, which led us to this modern fantasy world. The idea of the movie isn't necessarily to say that technology is bad. Obviously, we make Pixar movies with it, and and technology is a form of magic. It's really finding that balance between the sort of convenience of it.
A lot of animated films are really judged in a way in terms of how they can not only come across to children and kids, but also the parents.
Yeah.
There's a kind of animated movie that people say, well, the kids will love it, but oh man, it's going to be tough to sit there.
Right.
That's not the Pixar brand, and that's definitely not how Onward is. What's the key when making a movie in trying to balance the different ages that might experience it?
I think make it for yourself. Make it for we make it at Pixar for our fellow employees who love movies and love the experience of movies, and we make it for them. We don't talk down to kids. I don't think you need to. I think kids are really smart. Obviously, within reason, it's a family film. You have to bear that in mind. But we never say, "Oh, that's a great idea," but I don't think kids would get that. I mean, ever. That never is said. And make them fun and give them all the varied emotion that you'd want out of any dramatic experience.
I am on my way, boys. Just stay out of trouble.